Hey, amazing one. Welcome to Heal with the Healing Artist Show. I am Sherita Sparrow, and today we are talking about how we lose money when we don't honor our artistic gifts and follow our purpose. All right. So, yes, we can lose money when we don't absolutely honor our artistic gifts and follow our purpose. All right. So, yes, I am Sherita Sparrow, the healing artist, and I help creatives tap into their artistic gifts so that they can enrich lives and build a career that adds to their higher purpose. So, I'm so happy that you're on with me tonight because we are going to talk about how we actually shortchange ourselves and keep us from actually living a life that is more abundant and fulfilling. Okay, so let's get started. So, one of the things I really want to share, and I want to ask you a question, is did you know that your artistic gifts are both your superpower and your kryptonite? Did you know that? Did you know that it's actually your superpower and your kryptonite? All right. If you kind of know how is your kryptonite, I would love for you to type into the chat and share how it could potentially be your kryptonite. All right. But let's take a look at this even further and really try to understand. So, when we look at it from the perspective of our artistic gifts as being our superpower, we see it as a superpower because it comes naturally to us. All right. And you absolutely love using your artistic gifts. It's so easy for you to be creative, to problem solve, to think outside the box. And when it comes to innovation, you are definitely at your best. Okay. So, this is why people often seek out your expertise or your assistance because they see how awesome you are with using your gifts and thinking outside the box, and they would love for you to help them brainstorm on their creative ideas, right? So, that is an awesome thing about you, one of your beautiful natural gifts, okay? Now, the other thing on the other side of this, of it being our superpower, is that sometimes we tend to share a little bit too much of ourselves. From the sincerity of our hearts, we absolutely want to help other people. We love to help other people. That's one of our specialties, right? And so when we do this, we find ourselves giving, and not really pouring much back into ourselves. And when we do this, when we start give, and especially give for free, all right, then we find ourselves on the other side of the superpower, and now it has become our kryptonite. All right, it's become our kryptonite. And it's because we are now feeling exhausted emotionally, physically, spiritually, and worse, financially broke. Okay. And I want to emphasize financially broke. Okay. Because we're giving and we're not making sure that we honor our gifts. Okay. Now, let's take a look at this even more. And let me actually paint a picture for you and share with you about a time when I really was not honoring my own gifts. And as a result, I was unable to walk in the direction of my purpose. Okay. And I was at a standstill. Now, the last episode we talked about crossroads. Well, this was another crossroad for me because I was not honoring my gifts. And what was happening was that I was at a time in my business where I needed to increase my rates. And I had not increased my rates in over 3 years. Now, you know, that's really bad. And for some reason, 3 is a number for me because the last episode I talked about how it took me 3 years to make a decision. I need to figure out what's going on with that. But anyway, so I had not increased my rates, and I didn't increase my rates because I was afraid. I wasn't sure how my clients would feel. I wasn't sure if they would even find value in my holistic art services and say, yeah, we can pay that, right? So I was just really hesitating and unsure and second guessing myself. And the other thing was, I was putting out so much work, but I wasn't seeing the money add up in my bank account. Okay. So that was not good at all, right? I was not honoring my gifts. And the whole idea of um, charging more, it really did make me feel very uncomfortable. And that's something that a lot of creators have a hard time doing, is we have a hard time charging our worth and asking for what we are worth. Okay. And especially, we don't really learn that in school. They don't really teach much about how to run a creative business, right? So we kind of have to figure that part out. And so the whole idea of standing in our truth and asking for our value can be very uncomfortable territory. Okay. And I definitely was in some uncomfortable territory at that moment. And I found myself struggling in my business because I knew deep down in my heart, I knew I should be charging more. But I was so worried that, oh my goodness, I'm going to lose my clients. They're not going to see the value in my holistic art services. And, why should I even try to rock the boat? We're afraid to rock the boat sometimes, but sometimes you got to rock the boat to make things happen, all right? To see change happen in your life, right? So that is what was going on for me. I was really struggling with that once upon a time. I really was struggling, and I was having a hard time walking into my purpose. Now, if this seems to resonate with you and you found yourself at a crossroad where you wasn't really honoring your own creative gifts, your special gifts, I would love for you to just type into the chat and share. Has this happened to you? Have you ever been in a spot where you knew you should be charging more or asking for more and you just didn't do it, right? But you felt it deep down in your heart. You knew you should be doing that. And so for me, I was in that spot where I really did feel that I should be charging more, but I didn't. And the one thing that was happening to me was that I was feeling like a complete failure as an entrepreneur because I knew I should be doing that, but I just did not feel comfortable doing that, right? I was so unsure. Okay. And so we want to make sure that we kind of get ourselves out of that. So what we're going to do now is I really like for you to think about something. Whenever you're in doubt and you're absolutely unsure about if you should be asking more for your value, really think about, is it adding up in your bank account? Are you putting out more work and you're helping more people, but you're not seeing it add up? You're not seeing those numbers add up? That means you need to make a quick change and recalibrate. Take a look at what you're doing in your business with your services and with your artistic gifts, okay? Because you deserve more, all right? People see value in your services when you see value in it first. So it took me a while to figure that out, but I definitely got some help from one of my awesome coaches who helped me to get over this. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But what I would love to do first is to share with you the 3 creative roadblocks that keep us from making money and living our purpose. The first one is donating our time. So donating our time is where we lose money when we give our gifts away for free. And this happens when we're always ready to lend that helping hand to those in need. And, of course, those are great qualities that we have as a creative person and a compassionate spirit. But does it really do us service if we're giving our services away for free all the time, right? Not really. And sometimes we feel like, wow, this is a special gift that I have and it comes natural for me. I don't even feel like I'm working hard for this. So how could I even possibly ask for money? How could I even charge for money? Because this is just something that I do, right? And I love doing this. But you have to think about all the things that go into play for what you're doing and what you're offering. The next one is negotiating your gifts. All right. Now, when we talk about negotiating gifts is really about we lose money when we shortchange ourselves. So we price our services really low, or we start offering those discounts. Okay. Now it's okay to offer discounts every once in a while, especially to our most loyal clients, right? But you don't want to make that something that you do constant. Okay. You want to make sure that you are charging your value and you're covering all your expenses. And when we look at this from that perspective, you want to consider your travel expenses, especially now, right? We want to consider travel expenses because that's gas money. We want to consider our supply expenses because that's materials that we're using. We want to consider the immeasurable expenses, which is your brain power, your physical energy. And of course, all of that is absolutely priceless. Okay. So you want to make sure that you consider those things because guess what? You're a big deal. You are a big deal. So you should be charging big deal prices. Okay. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't offer those discounts. All right. Or keep your prices low. You're a big deal. So start charging those big deal prices. And when you do that, you'll start moving closer to your purpose. The next one is compromising our values. All right. Compromising our values. And compromising our values is when we lose money, when we settle and work with clients who are really not aligned with our mission. Okay. So, yes, we want to help everyone. Okay. But there comes a time where you have to set a standard. Okay. You have to set a standard and decide on who you really want to work with. Who are your best clients? Who do you love working with? And those are the people that deserve your attention. Okay. You don't want to spend your time working with clients who are just those tire kickers, just there to take up a seat or take up space, when you can be working with a client that really sees your value and understands it and is willing to pay for your value. Okay. That's what you need to do. Spend your time more on your ideal clients and less on compromising your values with clients who are not aligned with your mission and your purpose. And if you feel like, I haven't really thought about what my mission is, or I really haven't really thought about my standards for working with clients, use this time to really start thinking about that. All right. Value and honor your artistic gifts. Okay. You are worth it. So take that time and start honoring your gifts. And the first thing you want to do is really think about what is your standard. Okay. So really think about that. All right. I struggle with that too. Sometimes I still struggle with that, but I got to bring myself back, especially when it's a new territory for me. So recently I had started selling my paintings. I've never sold any paintings before until this year. Most of my paintings I gave away. So I was doing a lot of donating with my paintings because I was so attached to my artwork. My artwork is like a piece of me, right? It's my heart, my soul, all embedded into that canvas that I create. And so if I ever let go of a painting, I was either giving it away as a gift or a donation to someone. Okay. Because I just could not put a price on the painting. But this year I got enough courage, and with the help of family members, especially my brother, I was able to start charging for my artwork. But what I was doing, I was still charging at a low price, right? And my brother was like, Rita, really? Like, you could be charging way more than what you're charging. Okay. And so you want to really think about the industry that you're in and think about what is the going prices or the rates within your industry. Okay. So that you're not pricing yourself low, that you are on a competitive edge with everyone else. Okay. So this is what I want you to remember. Remember this. Honor your gifts will lead to people appreciating what you have to offer. Okay? Honor your gifts will lead to people appreciating what you have to offer. So, when you honor your artistic gifts and you start charging your worth, people will appreciate what you have to offer them. Okay? It starts with you first. You set the tone. Okay? Now, here is another quote that I got from one of my other awesome coaches, Marielle. She shared this with me, and I loved it because it made so much sense. And she shared that people who don't pay attention. And I was like, oh, I love that because it's so true. People who are not invested are not going to really be focused or connected or committed to doing the work with you, right? So if you're doing like a coaching program or you're offering a service, if they're not invested in your service, are they really going to be committed and connected? Probably not. So it really does make a lot of sense to really start charging your value. You'll be surprised how people will be open to that. Don't shortchange yourself and second guess yourself and say, no one's going to want to pay me for this, or no one's going to find value in what I'm offering. That is so untrue, right? And again, it starts with you. It starts with you. So here is my life hack. All right, this is my life hack. And I got this from my other awesome coach, Wendy Y. And she really helped me to kind of get over this whole part of being unsure of my gifts. Okay. And I was really in this one space where I wasn't charging my true value, and I was actually stumbling over myself about that. So if you find yourself stumbling or unsure, this is what you want to do. Okay. The first thing is you want to make the decision that you're going to start charging your value, your true value. So you may be charging right now, but I want you to really think about charging your true value and not offering discounts. Okay. Not negotiating or bartering, right? Start doing that. When you start doing that and deciding that, you're now honoring your gifts, your time, and your energy. Okay. The next thing I would love for you to do is to gather insight about the industry. So yes, you're going to start charging your value, but like, you know what, how much should I be charging? Right? What does that look like? So that means doing some research, looking around, deciding on what is the going rate for your industry. So for me, when I was charging low for my paintings, I started doing research and looking around, and I was so surprised, like, oh my gosh, I was really low. But I was learning because I had never sold any paintings before anyway. So I wasn't really paying attention to how much paintings sold for. But now I know and I understand. And now I'm more on a competitive edge with selling my artwork, right? I am more knowledgeable. I understand my true value of what I'm offering when it comes to doing my art. And I'd love for you to do the same thing too. So really start doing your research, looking around in your industry so that you don't shortchange yourself. Okay. And that you feel confident, because I know when I start doing that research and I start seeing the value of the paintings, I was like, oh, okay, that I can do that. Right. And then I started building up my own confidence, and everything started making sense for me, and it started flowing so much better. Okay. Now, the other thing is to stand in your truth. And that really comes with working with clients that truly align with your mission and your purpose. So set those standards. Decide on the clients that you truly want to work with, your best clients, right? The clients that you love to work with, the clients that see your value and are willing to pay for your value, not the tire kickers. We don't want them. Okay. We want people who really want to work with you. okay? And really want to see results because they know you can get them those results, all right? So really start standing in your truth and stop compromising your values, okay? All right, so if you're ready to really start stepping into your creative confidence and you want to step up your game and start charging your worth and standing in your creative power, I would love for you to join my free Facebook, Rise Up, Speak Up, and Create, right? So you can start creating change in your life and creating positive change, that is. All right. So the other thing that I would love for you to do is to keep an eye out because I have another wonderful and fabulous My Canva workshop coming up really soon. So that if you're really interested in learning how to use the Canva platform and how to use it for your own marketing purposes for your business and services or special events, get ready because it's coming back. It's an encore and you're going to love it. So it's coming out soon. Be sure to look out for that. And amazing one, I just want to say that it is always, always, always a pleasure to be with you. And I hope that you found these tips to be very helpful. All right. So remember let's just recap, to make the decision that you're going to start charging your true value. Also, gather insight for your industry and stand in your truth. When you do this, you'll start walking into your purpose with love and with grace. All right. So honor your artistic gifts because you are worth it. You're more than worth it. All right. So until I see you again, amazing one, continue to create, connect, inspire others. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye, amazing one. Mwah.